today. You guys want a comic book hot take? This is why we do business on the channel, my AKAPADers. Hellboy the Corpse. Originally a 2-page syndicated story every single month in a distribution catalog. I believe it was Advanced Comics. You got 2 pages of Hellboy the Corpse. It's one heck of a experiment. And I think as an experiment, it succeeds. It showcases the true talents and capabilities and storytelling prowess of Mike Mignola. But as a collected edition, as a singular read, I don't feel like it holds up. And to further that, I don't know if Hellboy is everything everyone says it is. Is it everything it's cracked up to be? Talk to Crypt. Because I'm going to say it, Hellboy could be overrated. I think this is overrated. Reading this, my AKAPADers, we have a 25-cent edition that I assume, overall, by Dark Horse, just as a publisher, this one story is one hell of a way to promote a book. Because Dark Horse worked out a way to get this syndicated, not only growing the brand of Dark Horse Comics, but growing the awareness of Hellboy. Hellboy is, we have a big red guy over here, and every single month, every single time you read him or interact with Hellboy, like he's over here, it's a monster of the week type gimmick. There's a mythology. He goes into the folklore and legends of the world. Here he does Ireland. He does an Irish legend. I thought maybe these guys were leprechauns, but they're or the Hellboy version of leprechauns. They're not. But they're mystical, and we get Mike Mignola here doing what he does best, which is telling a story. He brings it all here. We have a lot of fantastic establishing shots, like here. We got one there. We got one here. I mean, it goes on and on. A little bit of a masterclass in how do we tell a comic book story? A baby gets kidnapped, and Hellboy has this corpse. And if he can return the corpse to the gravesite, which he does at the end, the baby is set free, and he can bring the baby back to the parents. It's really not right here, the parents. These are the parents that allow a shape-shifting leprechauner type being gets stolen. Where were you? Where were you? Right here. Maybe these are the world's 2 most worst parents. And we're just introduced to I love the title page here. The title page is fantastic. But we're just thrown into it, and I love it because here's the thing. When we're reading this, it does seem like there's gaps, and we get the sense of that because we were designing this as a 2-page experience at the time. So we would kind of get, they call these page anchors. I call them page flippers because they incentivize you to flip the page. But we get like a good amount of those, right? Sometimes they're close-ups, sometimes they're landscapes. But we can really see, like here we kind of have a zinger. We can really see how, sometimes we pull back the camera, we zoom in. We find ways to get a reader to flip the page. I mean, look at this landscape here. So do we want to say this is my reintroduction into the world of Hellboy? It is, because previously I only read Seed of Destruction. Liked it. the first Hellboy movie essentially is an adaptation to that. But to me, I think it's like if you watch that Supernatural CW show, you love Hellboy. I think there's a type of audience that this is made for. I to me, the storytelling, like the guts of it, isn't it's just not nuanced enough. There's not enough in the veins. There's not enough in the crevices, aka patterns. But I enjoy comic book storytelling. So yeah, I'm always divided with the presentation of this. I'm not just talking about the corpse being a 2-page syndication. I'm talking about what the stories are and what they represent. But yeah, we have the baby here, and Hellboy knows if he touches the baby with iron, he triggers, right? He triggers the shapeshifter right here. We had this dude's flipping out, and Hellboy just throws him, basically just throws him right, right out of the chimney. The kid just blasts out of there, and the parents are like, "Yo, maybe we should have like held the kid." Like it's like maybe we should like question the demon baby thing. And Hellboy's like, "Look, dude, let me do my job. I have to play by their rules." And he wanders off. And we kind of see before he does that though, like the little demon baby thing right there. Maybe it's a leprechaun. I don't know. He goes off, and so as he walks off, this is really cool because you kind of see that Hellboy is in, like he sees a different world. He's told that there's a crossroads, and no one goes down the crossroads at night because they used to hang people. And he sees like this ghost, and the ghost kind of like points him in the right direction. And here he kind of makes a deal because they're these leprechaun dudes. They have a dead body. And he cuts a deal with them. And they're like, if you can bring this to a church, we'll give you back the baby. And they basically say that the corpse guy here, I mean, definitely a party boy. Because we have not much good for work, was a Tammy, but was a drinker, card player, and wild with the girls. Anyway, moving on. Let's get to more of the artwork. And guys, I love when he draws headstones here. Look at these bricks. Look how uneven they are. I mean, look at this chapel room, this sarcophagus. But he gets this key, and then we just see like no room. And he's pushed to like another environment, and he's pushed to a grave, and the grave bursts in fire. No room. Yikes. He gets freaked out. Even Hellboy gets bummed out, and they this is where he starts arguing with the corpse. And like I kind of forgot, because you can tell this was collected and came out during the movie. I forgot that the corpse was in the Hellboy movie. And here's the cool thing. There's a sculpture of a maquette. Where is it? Right here, where originally the right hand of Doom was on the left hand to free up the right arm, for Ron Perlman. But Ron Perlman is ambidextrous. That means he can use both hands. So the right hand of Doom goes onto the right hand, and otherwise it would be on the left hand, so the actor can use his right. I thought that was kind of cool. But we get this flaming graveyard, and then there's like a floating rock. Things just happen here. They really do. And he argues with the corpse, and the corpse is like, there's gold underneath there. And Hellboy's like, what do you want to do with gold? You're just this like corpse. And the guy's like, well, just go over there. So but we see like there's corpse, there's gold underneath. And he tries to make his way into the cave, and then we find out that there's a little bit of a deal to be made. And I guess like these are just the spirits and they're dying off, and they kind of want to keep the baby to raise the baby because they're not reproducing. And we get that re-solidified down the road, and then we have the demon baby leprechaun thing from the beginning. I will have my vengeance, and he swims down with a key because earlier when they were getting into the church, the corpse knows like where to find the key, but I believe this is a different key. Who cares? And he swims down and he unlocks this box. He gives it to this like mermaid girls. Unlocks the box, and as I mean, guys, but don't we love just this is what we like here. We just like well placed, well drawn landscape, wide lens shots to show off our environments. But we hear a blurb. Hellboy's walking. He's on the bridge, and then boom, giant pig busts from the bridge. That's clearly the pig from the chest here that the little mermaid girl's unlocking. And the little naked baby thing, we see it's naked because we see the junk right there. Well, Hellboy's going to fight a big fat pig. So they fight. Nice choreography here. I just like some of his, like, see the grass, like, there's little, like, speckle lines. And the corpse loses his arm, and Hellboy needs to swim to the bottom of the lake because the mermaid lady that unlocked the pig boy and the Kirby Crackle here, Kirby Crackle makes an appearance. He's got to punch her out because she's chewing and eating the corpse's arm, but he comes back, he has the arm, and now he's got to drag the corpse. More fantastic environments. Thank you, Mike Mignola. And then, he gets to the proper grounds. The one cool thing is when he's told, like, where you have to drop the body off, the little leprechaun guys here, the nice, well-dressed leprechaun guys, they tell him, like, 5 different places that the corpse needs to be so they can rid themselves of them. And, he gets one of them, throws in the corpse, and then he's met by another one of the leprechaun guys, one of the spirits, and he goes, "Hey, I did your thing, give me back the baby." And essentially, he's like, this is where we have this, like, coming to terms, where they're of a race, they're dying off, they would like to have the baby to raise, so the baby could learn their ways and learn their life and learn their culture and pass it on. And Hellboy's like, I don't think the parents care about that. And he has the kid here, and we have some of these Hellboy universe fairies here, or tooth fairies, whatever the heck you want to call them. And he gives it a little tap to make sure, like in the beginning, right? Like, let's just make sure in the beginning the baby's afraid of the iron in the horseshoe, and the baby's fine. And he walks off into the distance, and it's daytime. So it's interesting. See, but we kind of want to say how well planned out is this, because in the beginning he really only has a short period of time, which is why we see a lot of the clock ticking, and then eventually as we read it, there's no clock ticking, and it's just kind of like, get the thing done. I just think, just as a presentation, this is great. I think as an experiment, this is great. I don't think this is a great read at all, just as of like panel to panel type junk. But I like the experiment because, again, we want to say, like, comic books work in all forms and work in many different types. So let's experiment different ways of producing the comic book page for the audience or the reader. I think this is a great example of that. And a lot of people don't mention that when they talk about the corpse. But I don't think the corpse works as a collected piece. I think it's one hell of an experiment, though.